Yo, what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Kid Max, and today we got another one. Yo, what's up, YouTube family? So, um, I'm coming today to give you guys my take on the Charlotte Hornets versus Indiana Pacers game. Um, I did not catch the game live. As you guys know, the Chicago Bulls were playing at the same time, and I chose to watch that game first. I like to watch games full on. I don't like to watch the games together, so I'm gonna have to make sacrifices during the season, and watch the next game the next day or that next night. I'm gonna get better with my scheduling and stuff. But yeah, so I just finished watching the game on NBA replay, and man, just to get right into it, right? I'm so proud of Lamelo, man. Let's go to the what a game first off, right? What a game. The game was uh Indiana Pacers had them on the ropes all game pretty much. Charlotte, they couldn't find anything going in the basket. They were trying to make shots, but the shots weren't going in. They were trying to make passes, but the passes weren't going through. Um, And Lamelo, man, he just kept him in the game all night with Ish Smith. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the scoreboard, and let's take a quick look. Let's see. Yeah, really, really tight game. All right. Let's see here. Your boy Lamelo really, really played well, man. I'm really proud of Lamelo, man. So let's look at this stat sheet. So Gordon Hayward, 27 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Miles Bridges, 13 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Mason Plumlee, 8 points, 5 assists, 10 rebounds. Kelly Oubre, 14 points, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. LaMelo Ball, 31 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. Cody Martin, 10 points, 6 rebounds. Ish Smith, 14 points, 5 assists. PJ Washington, 5 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Um, you know, man, before I get into these stats really deeply, uh, what I want to say is that, you know, I really am just proud of LaMelo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was just playing like a real all-star player, man, like young player, just seeing him develop and seeing him, his defense has gotten, he's become a defensive presence on his own right. If you guys check out my last video in regards to some of their preseason games, I said that I feel like, if he continues to work on his transition defense, he'll be able to really have an impact in the game. We saw him get more deflections tonight, but he's really challenging himself to pick up the man-on-man defense, but just being a presence and not being catching the fouls. And we knew he had the capability of stepping up on defense since we've been watching him since he was young. And so to see him really become not a liability as much as people probably thought he would be is really, really comforting to see. But yeah, as far as the game, before I get into the stats, Indiana played a really good game. They were just hitting threes all night, man. They were just hitting threes all night. Shots were just going in, and there was nothing that Charlotte could really do about it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, they were trying to shoot their own shots. Charlotte was trying to hit their own shots. Shots weren't going in. Passes were getting deflected and blocked. And really, the saviors of this Charlotte Hornets team was Ish Smith and LaMelo Ball. As far as keeping the energy going, I think Gordon Hayward, he was struggling all night until like third quarter. Gordon Hayward and Kelly Oubre gave the rest of the team some power. And then, during the third quarter, the rest of the team really kind of galvanized behind LaMelo's energy, what he kind of helped giving them that thrust during the tail end of the second quarter and towards the middle of the third quarter. Yeah, man, but I'm just really, 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 really happy to see LaMelo. Obviously the Charlotte Hornets, this was like a revenge game. They had a really, really bad night their last preseason game, and so I think they obviously wanted to come out and make a statement and make sure they opened up the season with a bang. But yeah, man, LaMelo Ball, man. Let's get to these stats real quick, and I'm gonna break down these players. So yeah, Gordon Hayward really proud of Gordon Hayward. You know, a lot of people counted Gordon Hayward out a couple years ago before he joined Charlotte Hornets, and I'm on record on the internet saying that I didn't think his career was dead. You know, people were saying that it was a wrap for Gordon Hayward, and I feel like he had at least 5 years left, solid 5 years going strong, and he obviously has more than that, at least another 10 years in his career of being a really effective player, but he has at least 5, 6 years of being really effective and really powerful for any team, I think. Yeah, a lot of his shots were not going in, but he kept at it and he stayed aggressive, and that's what I like about Gordon Hayward is that he doesn't give up and he keeps his head up, and he's a real leader, and you could tell that he's hungry for greatness. The way he plays, you could tell that Gordon Hayward wants to be great and doesn't like to settle for bad nights, and so I like that about Gordon Hayward a lot. So that 27 really came in handy for them towards the end of that game because he was hitting some mid-range shots and got to the line a couple of times. So shout out to Gordon Hayward. Miles Bridges, you know what I'm saying? Same thing. You know, he was a hustle player, you know, wasn't hitting all his shots, but hit some really important shots and, you know, made some important plays towards the end of the game towards the final stretch. And so, you know, we like to see that from Miles Bridges. Mason Plumlee, I think Mason Plumlee's a good pickup for Charlotte Hornets. Plays really athletic, strong, and he seems to have good chemistry with Lamelo. There was a towards the end when they were getting hyped up when the Charlotte Hornets were getting on a run. Lamelo threw a alley oop to Mason Plumlee, and the fact that Mason even saw that alley oop coming to me just shows that they have developed chemistry, and I look forward to seeing how that chemistry between Mason Plumlee and Lamelo continues to develop. Because I think that Lamelo was developing chemistry with Cody Zeller as well, but you know I think Mason Plumlee is a good replacement, and it's going to be interesting to see how him and Mason continue to build together. Kelly Oubre, same thing. You know, wasn't hitting his shots. You know, was shooting. He's got 14 here. Was shooting, but I think it's a solid 14. You know, every point matters in these games. Okay, and Kelly Oubre kept going at it as well. I think, like I said, I always said that I felt like Kelly Oubre was a good underrated pickup for them. And I think throughout the season we're going to see Kelly Oubre prove that as he continues to play and as he continues to thrive and mesh with Lamelo and the team in Charlotte. So good play by Kelly Oubre. Let me get to, before I speak on Lamelo's 31. Cody Martin played decent as well. You know, good defensive player. I think he's going to pick up, you know, his offensive abilities a little bit later than I like the Martin twins. I think they got a bad rap last year. I understand the trade, as you know, Charlotte had to do some moves to kind of adjust the entire team, and obviously they felt Cody was the most valuable player for them to keep. Obviously, I think more so for defense because I think his brother is more offensive player. But I liked both of the twins last year. I think they both got a bad rap because people were just mad that Lamelo wasn't getting his play, so they kind of took it out on Cody and his brother and Caleb. But I think they both are good players, and I think they got a bad rap this last year. But I think they're going to both be able to redeem themselves now they're on separate teams, and people are going to be able to see their value. So I'm excited to see what happens for them. Now, Ish Smith, I want to talk about Ish Smith because Ish Smith, I think, was really the tag team with Lamelo all night as far as, you know, just offensive prowess and giving the team energy. I think Ish Smith really was the backup for Lamelo all night. And, you know, I think Ish Smith's contribution may have gone unnoticed. I'm not sure, but because I haven't watched any other videos, right? I didn't drop the video last night, and I made sure not to watch any videos. I wanted to make sure that my take was was a fresh take, and only my thoughts were involved in this take. So like I said, I just finished watching the game on replay, so I haven't watched any other videos. I'm probably gonna watch some of them today before the new game comes on tonight. But yeah, so I don't know if anyone's talked about Ish Smith and his contribution, but I think Ish Smith and Lamelo were really keeping the team alive while they were struggling to get caught up. You know what I'm saying? And so Ish Smith's contribution with Lamelo was pivotal to their victory tonight, because Lamelo picked up his Lamelo was basically playing on fire all night. You know, that shot was looking beautiful, man. You know, to see Lamelo's new shot going in so smooth was really comforting to see. I think that you know, obviously we saw that he was working on his new shot, and he still has his wrist. He's still healing from his wrist. So to see that his shot's hitting so smoothly is really a good sign. I'm really happy to see that, and it's something that I'm excited to see how he continues to thrive with his new shot, even though it's the same shot, but it's just a bit more straightforward, which I think is good for him. It makes it he doesn't have to worry about it too much, and he still has his flexible style with his shooting. So, yeah, man, Lamelo was on fire all night, and he just kept them in the game pretty much all night with Ish Smith's aggressiveness, and then the rest of the team. Because Gordon Hayward got a quiet 27, man. He got a quiet 27. Like I said, Gordon Hayward just puts the bucket in there, man. He gets into the post and he just finds a way to get in there. And so really, 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 really good showing from Gordon Hayward as well. But Lamelo, man, I'm just so proud of Lamelo. Seeing him stay aggressive all night, and just seeing him shoot that shot just brought back memories from Chino Hills, from the days of seeing the Ball brothers shoot those 3 balls like they weren't afraid, man. And so to see Lamelo keeping that energy of fearlessness and self-confidence and self-belief is really inspiring to see, and really and just really powerful to see, man. I don't know what to say, like, because that's what it's about. Sometimes sometimes when you shoot with confidence, you get lucky. The universe just blesses you. The basketball God just blesses you. We saw those bank shots go in, but that has nothing to do with his aim. His aim was on point. That's why they went in, right? And it was just really good to see him playing aggressive. And the thing about it is he could have had some of those layups went in. So Lamelo, like I said before, I mentioned this in my videos before. Lamelo's he's already a problem. This year he's going to be transcendent. Okay, but once Lamelo Ball gets into his Paul George, Zach LaVine ball body, it's going to be a real problem, because we're already seeing Lamelo Ball dunk. I think this year he's going to be trying to dunk on people's heads, because this is the first game. So this team is still finding their flow. But I think what I liked about Charlotte all night, though, is even though things were just from the get-go, they were not getting the tips from the ball. You know what I'm saying? From the get-go of the game, the ball was not going their way, but they kept fighting all game, and it reminded me of Charlotte from last year. So that's good. They still have kept their identity of fighting back. And, LaMelo did his part in not only facilitating for the team, getting his rebounds, so that he can, make sure that he's active offensively. Because that's what I was saying. I said LaMelo is going to have to get more rebounds in order for him to really play the game that he needs to play to be the primary offensive player that he's going to have to be for this team. Because I think LaMelo does a great job at letting the team flow as well. And we're seeing that with his 7 assists. But in order for him to really be offensively involved, he's going to have to get those rebounds a little bit more, just like Lonzo to a degree. That's just how it's going to be, in my opinion. I think LaMelo did a great job with doing that. And yeah, just that's his shot. LaMelo's a volume shooter, and he's got to shoot that. He's got to not be afraid of shooting it and trusting his shot. But what I like about what I'm seeing from LaMelo, and what I've noticed throughout the preseason as well, even though this is a bit more amplified of a game, is that LaMelo seems to be getting his efficiency up while keeping his trust in his shot, so that he can still be a volume shooter when he needs to be. And I think that's a significant importance for LaMelo, is to trust his efficient style of play as he's developed his style of play, as he's developed his chemistry and trust with his teammates. But obviously, as they have continued to develop trust in him, he needs to know when to continue to be a volume shooter and shoot it up. And I think he's done that. And I think he's doing that. We're going to see that this year. And so I'm just really excited for this game. I really, really can't wait to see what tonight's game is going to be like. I believe they play. Who do they play tonight? Let's see here. Let's see. Who do they play tonight? The Charlotte Hornets play. Let's see. Charlotte on this schedule. Let's see here. Yeah, they play Cleveland tonight. Yeah, they play Cleveland. So that's going to be an interesting game as well. Very interested to see how that goes. Obviously, I think that's going to be a Charlotte Hornets win if they do the right things like they did tonight, or like they did last night, a couple nights ago. I think that it's going to be a great game. And yeah, I think I just liked what I saw from LaMelo, man. I liked what I saw from LaMelo. Really, really just reminded me of Chino Hills basketball, man. And that was without even throwing the lobs, or without even really half-court pass. And we're going to see a lot more of that once the rest of the gang is back, and once they continue to develop their new team chemistry and their new team identity. But like I said, in order for the Charlotte Hornets to thrive, LaMelo's going to have to be a center offensively, as he always has been, as we've started to see this progression of the team. But in order for him to be able to be an effective offensive player for them, he's gonna have to get rebounds. He's going to have to bring the ball up a lot more like he did tonight. That's going to be the key. It's not going to be just him receiving the ball in the half court. He's going to have to bring it up. And I think as long as he maintains that kind of energy and play like he did tonight, I think they're going to be fine. And they have a deep team. They have a good team. I still like their bench. I think they have a strong bench still. And like I said, it's going to be the Charlotte Hornets and Chicago Bulls as far as the fastest teams in pace in my mind, especially when they're playing with the ball boys, right? So, yeah, I mean, not nothing really too much to talk about. Just a great sophomore game from Lamelo in his opening sophomore season. I'm just really proud of him, man. He's come a long way, and so I'm excited to see where the rest of the season goes. And I think that it's going to be really exciting, really, really exciting. And I think I cannot wait until the Chicago Bulls Charlotte Hornets matchup. That's gonna be interesting. By the time that matchup comes around, both teams should have been in have had more adjustments. They should be in more flow and more chemistry. So it's gonna be really entertaining. But yeah, I think the Charlotte Hornets are gonna be a fifth seed, a fifth potentially top four seed, man. In the East, again, it's gonna be between Charlotte Hornets, Chicago, and Atlanta, and obviously you have Brooklyn there as well. They're gonna be in the top three up there, but this season's gonna be really interesting. This season's gonna be really interesting. I think, yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I'm gonna talk about some of these things in some other videos, but really curious to see how the season goes. But yeah, I think Charlotte has a good chance as long as they find their flow like they found last year once Lamelo was involved in the games, and we saw him involved tonight. And I'm just really proud of Lamelo, man. He's showing his versatility, he's showing his leadership and his maturity, and it's just so good to see. We've seen this kid grow up from a young jit. So to see him thriving right now, it's just beautiful, and to see that wrist uh, isn't holding him back is very promising, because I also received I myself had a fracture in my wrist, my left wrist, and it took a long time for me not to feel it anymore. And so I don't know the extent of his wrist injury, but I know my wrist injury was very similar, and it took a while before I had flexibility in my wrist again. Or even now I can still feel it every now and again, but it's very rarely now that I feel it. But it took a while before I never felt it again. So he obviously though has higher, way more access to training and healing medicine and things like that. So I'm sure his process was a lot smoother than my process of healing. But it's really promising to see him still be able to shoot his shot so smoothly and see it going in so beautifully. And I'm excited to see what he does the rest of this year. So without further ado, guys, that's it for me. I just wanted to give you guys a quick recap. I wanted to make sure I got this video out there. I know it's late, but still, it's an important take to make sure that we put it down for history. And like I said, I didn't watch anyone's videos. I wanted to make sure that my take was a fresh take for you guys. And so that's my thoughts on it. I'm looking forward to seeing the Cleveland game tonight. I think it's going to be a win for Charlotte. I think that Lamelo is going to come out aggressive again. And I think tonight, though, he's going to be really trying to this is a prediction. I think he's going to really try to sauce up in his layups, because a lot of his layups weren't falling like he wanted them to in this game. And I think Lamelo's going to make it because, like I said, what I did like is that he was driving more. I told him, I said I wanted to see him drive, and he kept driving, and that's what allowed, and he started to shoot his shots. And I like that. And he kept driving it. And they're going to fall in eventually, because, we all know that Lamelo has a saucy layup package. And so that's what we need to see from him. And I like that we saw that from him tonight in that game, last night in that game. So, yeah, really great game for Lamelo. Really proud of him. Really proud of the Charlotte Hornets. And I'm looking forward to see what they continue to do. Shout out to Coach Borrego. And, shout out to the Charlotte Hornets. And let's see what they do tonight in Cleveland. But what I do think is, I think Lamelo is going to be really driving the ball a lot more. I think he's really, like I said, he's going to be trying to dunk on people's heads, man. And I think he's going to really try to get in there on some Kyrie Irving shit. So I'm excited to see how Lamelo continues to thrive as he grows into his body and as he grows as a player. So, guys, without further ado, if you are thinking about suicide, if you are struggling with depression, if you are, going through any stress or any struggles, if you feel like you can't make it, just know that anything is possible and you can make it. You do not have to give up. Don't give up on life. I don't care if you have one lung. If you still can breathe, if you're still breathing, you still got a shot. All right. I don't care if you're homeless right now. I don't care if you're living with your parents. I don't care if you're living in a hotel. I don't care if you're by yourself on the streets. If you still can look at the stars, if you can still smell, if you can still taste, you still got a shot to live and be the best version of you. And that's all that counts. All right. So without further ado, guys, that's going to be it for me on this video. And I'm wishing you guys nothing but the best. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and check out the rest of the videos. And that's it for your boy. So without further ado, it's your boy Kid Max, and I'm out in the cut. Sips tea. Peace.